Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi is looking to usher in a golden era of ties between Beijing and Manila. Mr. Wang made that comment as he met with Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Junior in the presidential palace today. That comment also came despite the undercurrent of territorial disputes between the two nations over the South China Sea. Philippine officials say Mr. Wang has invited the country's new leader to Beijing for talks with Chinese President Xi Jinping. Ahead of the meeting, Mr. Marcos Jr. said he's open to having military, cultural and educational exchanges with Beijing. Mr. Wang also shared similar sentiments of wanting to deepen and strengthen cooperation. And Cherry Regalado joins us live from Manila. Cherry, the Philippines needs to balance between wanting better ties with China, yet also safeguarding its interests in the South China Sea. The new Philippine president has come out to say he wants to look beyond maritime disputes. Will the talks today help to actually shift that dynamic in that direction?
Foreign Minister Wang Yi already met with President Marcos earlier today, although we are still waiting for the details of what was actually discussed in the meeting. Now, in last Tuesday's press conference, President Marcos said that aside, he was looking for ways of possibly he wants to discuss possible ways of resolving Manila's dispute with Beijing on the contested South China Sea, although he did not give specifics on what he hopes to discuss or the details of his plans in resolving the disputes with China over these disputed waters. Now, earlier, Foreign Minister Wang Yi said he gave the assurance that China is willing to work hard to create what he called, again, the new golden era in the two countries' relationship. He said that with his visit, he hopes that the country will have a new page in their foreign relations.
Cherry, of course, Mr. Marcos is barely a week into office, but the stance so far he's taken on China is not so different from his predecessor. Back then, Mr. Duterte's critics called him a sellout for cozying up to Beijing. How has the public reacted so far to Mr. Marcos's position?
Public's reaction on how President Marcos stands of following the foreign relations policy of Duterte in having closer relationship towards China yet has to be seen. And this is probably because the pronouncement of President Marcos has been a bit vague. On one hand, he says he wants to discuss with the foreign minister how the two countries can resolve their territorial dispute on China Sea, but the details again are vague. But he also said that he intends to uphold the Philippine sovereignty and pursue military alliance with the United States. So there's still no clear indication on whether he's going to pivot towards China or towards US. But you also have to consider that President Marcos has also been invited already by US President Joe Biden to visit Washington. And earlier, Wang was said to have relayed the Chinese government invitation for President Marcos to fly to Beijing. So we're not sure whether President Marcos will indeed be much friendlier to China or will he pivot towards US. That's something that we will have to wait and see.
Well, we will wait and see. That was Cherry Regalado speaking to us there from Manila.